Have you ever wondered why your legs feel weaker as you age, even when you're trying to stay active? It's a troubling question, isn't it? You try to walk daily, you stretch, you watch your weight, and yet your legs feel a little more unstable, a bit less strong. Getting out of a chair takes more effort. Stairs seem steeper. This decline doesn't always come from aging alone. Sometimes the culprit is far more silent, hiding right in your refrigerator or coffee cup. Yes, the drinks you consume every day could be quietly draining the strength from your legs. As a senior, your leg strength is your independence. Lose that and everything, from driving to walking your dog, becomes harder, even dangerous. And yet, many older adults are unknowingly sabotaging their mobility with every sip. Let's uncover 6 common drinks that may be slowly destroying your leg strength, and why it's time to stop drinking them today. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you hit that button and turn on the bell so you never miss another health tip made just for you. If you enjoy this video, type 1 in the comments. If not, type 0 to let me know how I can make better content for you. 1. Diet sodas, a dangerous illusion of healthy. At first glance, diet sodas seem like a smart choice, especially for seniors watching their weight, sugar levels, or caloric intake. The word diet implies discipline, health, and control. Many older adults proudly make the switch from regular sodas to diet versions, believing they're making a better decision for their bodies. But few realize that they may be trading one danger for another, and in some cases, a much worse one. You see, diet sodas are chemically engineered. They replace sugar with artificial sweeteners like aspartame, acesulfame potassium, or sucralose, substances that may not raise your blood sugar, but silently wreak havoc on your nervous system, muscle control, and bone health. For seniors, these artificial ingredients can be especially harmful because the aging body processes chemicals more slowly and is more vulnerable to their effects. What researchers are now discovering is alarming. Regular consumption of diet sodas may contribute to muscle atrophy, particularly in the lower limbs. In other words, your legs, the very things that help you walk, rise from a chair, or catch your balance, may be weakening with every sip. Artificial sweeteners have been shown to interfere with how nerves communicate with muscles, slowing down reaction time, reducing coordination, and increasing the risk of falls. Some studies even link daily diet soda use to frailty syndrome, a condition marked by muscle weakness, exhaustion, and decreased mobility. A frightening trifecta for anyone over 60. And there's more. Phosphoric acid, a common ingredient in many sodas, diet and regular, has been shown to leach calcium from bones, accelerating the loss of bone density in seniors. That's a direct threat to your hips, knees, and legs, the places that most often fracture in a fall. So what starts as a harmless habit, a bubbly drink with 0 calories, slowly becomes a quiet thief, stealing your independence. Your legs may not scream out in pain at first, but over months and years, your strength fades, your stability falters, and one day, a simple misstep becomes a life-changing fall. If you've been sipping diet sodas thinking they're doing no harm, it's time to look again. They may not be adding sugar, but they're subtracting your strength. Now, before you reach for that sports drink instead, thinking it's the healthier option, you'll want to know what's really hiding inside those colorful bottles, because what's marketed as hydration may be doing just the opposite to your legs. If you're still watching and finding these insights helpful, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're with me. Now let's move on to point number 2. 2. Sugary sports drinks, not for seniors. We often associate sports drinks with energy, recovery, and hydration. After all, they're designed for athletes, so they must be good for keeping us active and strong, right? For many seniors trying to stay healthy, these brightly colored bottles feel like a smart, energizing choice. The labels say electrolytes, replenish, and performance. But what they don't say is what's quietly happening inside your body, especially to your legs. As we age, our muscles naturally lose mass and strength, a condition known as sarcopenia. It's a slow process, but one that can be accelerated by what we consume. Sports drinks, while marketed as healthful, are often loaded with refined sugar, chemical additives, and excess sodium, all of which can fuel the very conditions that rob seniors of their leg power. Let's begin with sugar. Many sports drinks contain 25 to 35 grams of added sugar per bottle. That's nearly 7 to 9 teaspoons in one serving. For seniors, this sudden spike in sugar can lead to inflammation in the joints and muscles, particularly in the knees, hips, and calves. Inflammation doesn't just cause pain, it interferes with muscle repair, weakens tissue, and amplifies stiffness, making walking and standing feel heavier day by day. Then there's the salt. Excess sodium can trigger fluid retention, causing the lower legs and ankles to swell. That bloated, heavy feeling you get in your legs at the end of the day, it could be your hydrating drink working against you. Swollen muscles don't function efficiently. They fatigue faster, cramp more easily, and recover more slowly. And let's not forget the additives, food dyes, artificial flavors, and preservatives. Substances that add nothing to your body's healing process but can irritate your system and put added stress on your kidneys and blood vessels. The truth is, sports drinks were never meant for aging bodies. They were designed for young athletes burning thousands of calories, not for seniors trying to preserve mobility and strength. What your legs need is steady hydration, not sugar shock. So, next time you reach for that bottle of electric blue energy, ask yourself, is it really helping or is it making your next step harder? Because the next drink on this list may be even more surprising. It's one many enjoy to unwind, to socialize, or to take the edge off. But it could quietly be draining the very muscle strength you depend on most. Let's talk about alcohol. 3. Alcohol, the silent muscle killer. For many older adults, alcohol is more than just a drink. It's a ritual. A glass of wine with dinner, a cold beer on a summer afternoon, or a small nightcap to ease into sleep. It feels harmless, even comforting. And after a life of hard work and responsibilities, who could deny the simple pleasure of a drink now and then? But beneath that comforting routine may lie one of the most underestimated threats to your leg strength, balance, and long-term independence. Alcohol doesn't show its damage overnight. It's subtle. That's what makes it so dangerous. Over time, regular consumption, even in what's considered moderate amounts, can slowly erode the body's ability to maintain muscle mass and function, particularly in the lower body. This is especially concerning for seniors, whose muscles are already more vulnerable to aging and loss of protein synthesis. You see, alcohol directly interferes with how your body repairs and builds muscle tissue. After the age of 60, your body's natural ability to rebuild muscle starts to slow down. It needs support, good nutrition, movement, and rest. But when alcohol enters the picture, it blocks the absorption of protein and reduces testosterone, both of which are essential for muscle maintenance. The result? Your leg muscles weaken, not from lack of effort, but from being denied what they need to survive. Even more alarming, alcohol contributes to chronic dehydration, one of the most common and most overlooked factors in senior leg cramps, fatigue, and joint stiffness. Without enough hydration, your muscles become less flexible, more prone to injury, and slower to recover. The very act of standing or walking can become exhausting. And let's not forget balance. Alcohol dulls the nervous system and slows reaction time, a terrifying combination when paired with declining leg strength. Just one misstep, one delayed signal from the brain to the body, and a senior can go from standing to falling in seconds. And unlike in youth, a fall at this stage of life often leads to fractures, hospitalization, or worse, permanent loss of mobility. What's more, long-term alcohol use can drain essential nutrients like magnesium and vitamin D from your system, two silent heroes responsible for muscle function and bone strength. Without them, the legs lose both their power and their foundation. So while alcohol may seem like a small pleasure, it could be quietly robbing you of the strength to walk, climb, or even rise from a chair. It doesn't take much, and it doesn't take long. If protecting your independence matters, if walking across a room without fear matters, reconsider the role alcohol plays in your daily life. And if you thought alcohol was the only everyday drink silently working against your legs, wait until you hear about the next one. It's packed with caffeine, promises a burst of energy, but could be pushing your heart and muscles dangerously close to the edge. Let's talk about energy drinks. If you're still watching and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 1 below to let me know you're here. Now let's keep going with point number 4. 4. Energy drinks, a heart and muscle time bomb. They sit on store shelves with flashy labels and bold promises. Boost energy, ignite performance, stay sharp. For a senior who's feeling tired more often or struggling with sluggish mornings, it's tempting. After all, who wouldn't want a quick burst of energy to get through the day? Energy drinks seem like a fast solution, but for aging bodies, they are anything but harmless. In truth, they're ticking time bombs, especially for your heart, your muscles, and your legs. What many older adults don't realize is that energy drinks are designed for the high-demand, fast-recovering bodies of the young, not for the slower metabolism, more fragile cardiovascular systems, and sensitive muscles of those in their 60s and beyond. The ingredients packed inside these cans are a cocktail of risk: extremely high doses of caffeine, synthetic stimulants like taurine and guarana, and massive amounts of sugar, all working together to shock the system in ways your body may no longer tolerate. When that caffeine surge hits, it speeds up your heart rate, constricts your blood vessels, and sends your nervous system into overdrive. While that might feel like energy, it's actually stress on your body, especially your leg muscles, which depend on calm, steady blood flow to function properly. Instead, the vessels in your legs may tighten, restricting oxygen delivery. That leads to muscle fatigue, cramping, and even pain, not energy. Then comes the crash. Once the effects wear off, your blood sugar plunges. Your muscles feel weaker than before. Your legs, which just hours ago felt jittery and restless, now feel heavy and unresponsive. And this constant up and down cycle does damage. Over time, your leg muscles are pushed into a state of chronic fatigue, which robs you of the strength and stamina you need to walk, climb stairs, or even stand for long periods. Even more concerning is what this does to your heart. Stimulants in energy drinks can trigger irregular heart rhythms, dangerously high blood pressure, and increased risk of falls due to dizziness or fainting. When your heart is struggling to pump blood efficiently, your legs suffer first. They're the furthest from your core and need strong circulation to stay strong. Without it, the deterioration begins quietly and steadily. And remember, energy drinks often mask fatigue, not fix it. That tiredness you feel is your body speaking to you, asking for rest, proper hydration, and real nutrients. Ignoring it in favor of a quick fix is like silencing a smoke alarm while the fire still burns. If you're trying to regain or protect your independence, energy drinks may be one of the fastest ways to lose it. Your legs need support, not a synthetic storm. And speaking of things that seem harmless but quietly do harm, let's turn to something many seniors consume every morning. Not with a bang of caffeine, but with a quiet swirl of sweetness. What if that flavored creamer in your coffee cup is doing more damage than you ever imagined? 5. Flavored coffee creamers, a hidden threat to muscle health. There's something comforting about a warm cup of coffee in the morning. It's more than just a beverage. It's a moment of peace, a ritual, a small joy that starts the day. For many seniors, it's a habit formed over decades. And what's coffee without that touch of sweetness, that creamy swirl of flavor that makes it just right? Flavored coffee creamers have become a pantry staple in many American homes, especially among older adults who want to make their coffee more enjoyable. But behind that familiar taste lies a hidden threat, one that may be quietly weakening your muscles, stealing your energy, and threatening your mobility. Most flavored creamers are made not with cream at all, but with a concoction of artificial ingredients, hydrogenated oils, high fructose corn syrup, synthetic flavors, and most dangerously, trans fats. These substances were never meant to nourish the body. They were designed to enhance texture and taste, extend shelf life, and keep production costs low. But when they enter your body, especially a body over 60, the consequences are real and far-reaching. Trans fats and hydrogenated oils are known to clog arteries, but few people realize they also reduce circulation to the limbs, including the legs. That means your muscles, particularly in your thighs and calves, are receiving less oxygen and fewer nutrients, starving them slowly. Poor circulation doesn't always show up as pain right away. Sometimes it begins with a little stiffness, a heaviness in your legs, or a subtle loss of strength. But over time, those signs grow. What once felt like a simple walk around the block now leaves you winded. Climbing stairs becomes a strain. You begin to lose the confidence you once had in your own 2 feet. And it doesn't stop there. The high sugar content found in many flavored creamers contributes to inflammation, that deep, aching tightness in the joints and muscles that makes movement difficult. Combined with the circulatory damage from trans fats, your leg muscles are being weakened from multiple angles. Slowly, day by day, your independence erodes. What makes this especially dangerous is how invisible it all seems. You're not drinking soda, you're not skipping meals, you're just enjoying a cup of coffee. But that daily splash of creamer, added up over weeks, months, and years, may be doing more harm than you ever realized. The most harmful habits are often the ones that feel the most innocent. So before you reach for that flavored creamer tomorrow morning, ask yourself, is it worth trading a moment of flavor for a future of frailty? And if you think you've seen the worst, think again, because the final drink on this list hides behind a healthy image with its tea leaves and antioxidants. But buried beneath the label is a sugary storm that could quietly crush your leg strength just as much as any soda. Let's talk about bottled sweet teas. 6. Bottled sweet teas. More sugar than you think. It feels like a better choice, doesn't it? Bottled sweet tea, especially the ones labeled with words like natural, real brewed, or antioxidant rich, offers the illusion of something wholesome. After all, it's tea. It comes from plants. It's not a soda. It's not an energy drink. And it's not neon colored. For many older adults, it seems like the safe beverage, something you can enjoy on a warm afternoon or alongside a light lunch. But beneath that image of health hides a dangerous truth, one that could be slowly stealing the strength from your legs and draining the energy from your days. Most bottled sweet teas sold in convenience stores or grocery chains are loaded with added sugars. In some cases, they contain even more sugar per serving than a can of cola. What's worse, they often come in two-serving bottles, meaning what seems like a reasonable drink could be delivering over 40 grams of sugar in one sitting, nearly 10 teaspoons. For a senior, especially one dealing with diabetes, prediabetes, joint issues, or inflammation, this is not just unhealthy, it's quietly dangerous. Excess sugar in the body leads to systemic inflammation, which directly affects your joints and muscles, particularly in the lower body. That stiffness in your knees, that burning in your calves, that dull ache in your hips, all of it may be intensified by the sugary drinks you believed were harmless. Sugar also interferes with the body's collagen production and muscle repair, meaning your legs don't just hurt, they heal more slowly after strain, exercise, or minor injury. Then there's the caffeine. While less than energy drinks, many sweet teas still contain enough caffeine to cause mild dehydration if consumed regularly, a condition that reduces muscle elasticity and function. Dehydrated muscles are more likely to cramp, fatigue, and even tear. And when those muscles are responsible for helping you stand, walk, or balance, every sip starts to matter more. Over time, the legs, the most relied upon part of the aging body, become weaker. Your stride shortens. Your stability fades. You sit longer than you used to, not because you want to, but because it's harder to move. And all the while, that chilled bottle of healthy tea keeps calling your name, unaware of the damage it's helping to cause. The great danger of bottled sweet teas lies not in what they loudly proclaim, but in what they quietly conceal. They wear the mask of wellness while quietly undermining your strength from the inside out. So the next time you're reaching for something cool and refreshing, take a moment to read the label. Ask yourself, is this drink supporting my legs or sabotaging them? And now that you've seen all 6 drinks that may be quietly weakening your lower body, the question becomes, what should you be drinking instead? Because the right choices can restore, rebuild, and even reverse some of the damage. Let's talk about those life-giving alternatives next. Every sip is a choice toward strength or struggle. As we age, we begin to realize that our health isn't built in hospitals or doctors' offices. It's built in the quiet moments, in the daily choices we make without thinking. A morning routine, a casual beverage, a small indulgence. And while those choices may seem insignificant at first, over time, they add up and they shape the quality of our lives more than we ever imagined. Your legs are not just limbs, they are your freedom. They carry you to your front door, to your grandchild's recital, to the garden you've nurtured for years. They are the difference between independence and dependency. And yet, so many of us unknowingly weaken them with the very things we drink each day. The message is not to live in fear or to give up every pleasure. It's to live with awareness, to recognize that every sip is a decision, a quiet vote for either vitality or decline. When you choose water over soda, herbal tea over sweet tea, or skip the flavored creamer, you're not just being healthy. You're honoring the body that has carried you through decades of life. You're giving it what it needs to stay strong, balanced, and mobile, not just for today, but for the years to come. It's never too late to make better choices. The human body is astonishingly resilient, right? Even in our later years. Muscles can be rebuilt, energy can be restored, pain can be reduced. But it starts with the simple, often overlooked decisions. So the next time you pour a drink, pause for a second. Ask yourself, is this helping me walk with strength or pulling me further from it? Because aging with grace isn't about giving things up. It's about choosing what keeps you standing tall. And you, my friend, deserve to keep walking strong, one mindful sip at a time. These lessons are meant to inspire you to live fully and authentically. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to reflect and share one thing you've learned and plan to apply in your own life. Let's support each other on this journey toward embracing these truths. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment with senior health tips. If not, feel free to comment with 0. Your feedback means a lot to us. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content like this. Thank you for watching, and here's to living life on your own terms.